Hey guys, okay, so now we're going to be working on money. And as they say, more money, more problems. All right. So when you're reading questions that have to do with coins, dollars, sometimes you'll see questions with points, like if they're talking about football, touchdowns, you're going to want to set up a table. Okay. And actually, I want to change these. So can you scribble out this and this? We're actually going to flip flop these. So scribble it out. We're going to put the value here, and then we're going to write the expression here. Okay. So pretty much what I just did was I flip flop these two, but I just scribble out what was there and write it above. Okay. So when you're reading these guys, they're going to mention nickels, quarters, they can mention pennies, dollar bills, etc. Okay. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a table every time, just like this. Okay. And so I think the best way to do it is to kind of just hop it on down and do one. And we're actually going to skip number one. We're going to do number two. Okay. Here we go. Miss Coppola has $4.15 in quarters, dimes, and nickels creeping around in the bottom of her bag. Oh boy, if she has 4 times as many dimes as nickels and 3 fewer quarters than nickels, write an equation that can be used. Okay, whoa, it's a lot of reading here. So the first signal that I'm going to communicate to you is the fact that it's talking about quarters, dimes, and nickels. Okay, so I know this is a coin problem. So when I have a coin problem, I'm going to make myself a little table. So you make one too. And we're going to denote the type of coin. Then we're going to write its value. Then we're going to make an expression for it. Okay. So we have to decide well, what coins do I have here? So let's see. Dimes, nickels, and quarters, right? Is that all of them? Dimes, nickels, quarters? Or we could have listed it right over here. It started it, right? Quarters, dimes, and nickels. All right. So I'll write them out. Quarters. Ooh, I don't like that color. Dimes and nickels. All right, there they are. So last but not least, now we have to start listing the values. So be careful here. A quarter, I don't know, can I zoom in on this anymore? No, it won't let me. Okay, a quarter is 25 cents, so it's easy to write, okay? Dimes are also easy, that's 10 cents, 0.10. Be careful with nickels, because a lot of people want to put 0.5, but nickels are 5 cents, 0.05. So your value is just how many cents they are. So please, 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 especially when you have nickels. Oh, that's not good. Especially when you have nickels and what's the other one? Pennies are a problem. Okay, be careful. All right. So I filled those guys in. Now, you really don't need, that's no algebra. Here, oh boy, here's where the algebra comes into play. When you do this reading, if she has, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if you notice, guys, I highlighted them, and the rule that we've been talking about stays true. Usually the second thing mentioned is X. So when I start saying if she has, look, it goes dimes first, then nickels, then quarters. Okay, so usually the second thing mentioned, and I'll box them in gold, is X. So I'm going to call X my nickels. Okay, so she has 4 times as many dimes as nickels. 4 times as many dimes. So I have to take my nickels and I have to multiply it by 4. So 4x. 4 times as many dimes as nickels. All right, 3 fewer quarters than nickels. 3 fewer just means to subtract 3, right? And I have to subtract that from my nickels, which was X. And that's it. Now we just have to set up an equation, which is the last part. So the one clue I didn't use was the fact that we had $4.15, okay? So all my money has to add to $4.15, and I'm going to show you a common mistake. I'm going to put parentheses around these, by the way. Okay, here's the common mistake people make. They're going to take the X minus 3, and then to that they're going to add the 4X, oopsies, 4X. And then to that, they're going to add plain old X. What's the issue with this? If you said I didn't take into account the value, you are correct. Because right now, all I'm talking about is number. I have X minus 3 quarters, 4X dimes, and X nickels. But I didn't take into account the money. The money has to come in as well. So 25 cents times the number of quarters plus 10 cents times the number of dimes plus 5 cents times the number of nickels will give me $4.15. And so now, guys, what we have here is just a hot mess of a linear equation to solve. And you can solve this just like we did in the beginning of the year. So we'll distribute in. 0.25 times x is 0.25x. 0.25 times negative 3. And you can do it on your calculator if you need to. Negative 0.75. Okay. 0.10 times 4x is 0.40x. Plus 0.05x equals $4.15. Okay. Now what we got to do, guys, is we got to group like terms. So I have an x here, he's going to stay. I have another x here and another x here. So all these guys can stay. And that just means I have to move the 0.75 to the other side. So I'll add 0.75 to both sides. Here's what's left. $4.15 plus 75 cents is $4.90. And now we got to add these guys, 25 plus 40 plus 5 cents. You can do this. What does it equal? 0.70x, right? All right. Last but not least, we have to divide both sides by 0.70. And I've got x equals 7. Okay. So that makes sense. I got a whole number here, but what does it represent? That represents the number of nickels. Okay. I did not answer the question because I want to know how many of each that I have. Okay. So to get quarters, I have to do 7 minus 3, which is 4. And then to get dimes, I have to do 7 times 4, which is 28. And so now I know how many of each coin she has. So again, when you're doing these questions, guys, you want to make sure you set up these little tables. I just want to go back up. So when you're talking about value, nickel, be careful, is 0.05 cents. Quarter is 0.25. The other one that's going to cause us problems is pennies. A lot of people want to write 0.1. Pennies are 0.01. So don't mess up those values when they bring them up. All right, that's it.